So I'm up early again, off to Stoney Cove to have a little bit of a splash, try out my new face mask, and I thought I'd take you guys along with me, see what we can find, talk a bit more depth in the fish that we might find, or the wrecks that we might find, and take you through my equipment, the camera equipment and stuff, maybe inspire you to get your own and try it. But more my diving equipment. I'll just show you what I use and what I find comfortable in the way that I have it. So let's go see what we can find. But anyway, my name's Callum and welcome to Naturescope. So I thought I'll go through a couple bits of my equipment just here before I head off diving, just to show you what equipment I use. This is in no way an instructional tutorial, it's just simply just showing you the equipment that I use and what you might be able to expect throughout the video, or what you might see in it, and also what I use to film and take photos underwater. So first of all, the whole reason why I was going to do this dive trip was to try out my new piece of kit, which was the full face mask. This piece of equipment is really cool. It allows me essentially to breathe through both my nose and also my mouth at the same time. This allows me essentially to talk to other divers, especially if it's really useful if we see something in the water that we want to take a photo of or want to check out, as well as safety things. We can easily talk to one another, but we also use the hand signals, which is traditionally in diving, again, just to make sure that we keep on top of that and we all know what we're doing. All I have to do to communicate is press this button here that you can see on the side. Close it, so just press this button. I have got a clip in the video that you'll be able to see where I do click the video as I'm talking to the rest of my dive team, saying that the viz isn't great. We'll roll on that clip in a bit, and you can actually probably hear me as well. Now that wasn't me communicating to the camera, that's just me being able to, or you being able to hear through the camera, through the mask, because I can actually move my mouth and talk underwater. I haven't got a regulator in here because it's all encompasses around here, and then you've got these two earphones here, and this essentially allows me to listen to the other divers as well. So it's a cool, neat piece of kit. Was trying it out on the dive, and hopefully in the future I'll be able to get a transmitter which I can fit to my camera, and we can talk to one another, or I can talk to you, that is, underwater, while we go for a little bit of a splash. So really cool piece of kit, and I will move on to all my camera stuff. So first of all is the most important part, which is the thing that houses the main camera body. So this is what I hold underwater. I've got my two handles here that I use. These is where I attach my extra pieces, which I'll attach in a second. The most important part is this trigger here. This essentially allows me to take the photos underwater. You've also got the zoom function, which is here. This clicks onto the dome again, which I'll show you in a second. And then round the back here as well, I have all the different pieces of buttons that I can use to either flick through the cameras, change the modes, which is also important at the top here. Essentially, both of these changes the shutter speed, or the way in which light comes into the lens, allowing me to change the amount of light that's coming in. That way I can adjust the lightings on the photo. As lighting changes underwater, as you go deeper, things get a lot darker as the light can't penetrate. So it's a good idea to get familiar with these two buttons, or similar on your camera, just to make sure that everything is coming out of focus, or you can see it without adding any light. Well, the extra pieces that I put onto this camera, for example, is the strobe. So with the strobe, I use this to essentially bring colour back into a lot of the photos. So the way that works is if you're down underwater and you've got a nice piece of coral, for example, the coral itself might not look particularly colourful because wavelengths of light disappear at different depths. So you've got reds and blues there, and all the other colours that go. So a little flash of light will bring all that colour back to your photo, and so you have the colourful corally photos or films that you see on either TV or the show. And so the way that clips on is essentially it has a clip here, and I clip that in here, and that essentially just slots in like that and locks into place. And and that way I can then move it around depending on where that is. Excuse the noise, it is quite squeaky and also quite heavy, so especially when you get into the water, obviously it's not as heavy. Another one is a torch. I've disassembled it at the moment, but essentially that clips onto here and it does the same way. That torch there essentially means that I don't have to carry, well, I do carry an extra torch around, but means that I have less things to hold in my hands, and that just does the same thing as a strobe, but instead of flashing, it's a constant source of light. And the next few things here, we have this is the next thing that goes with the strobe. So this connects your camera to the strobe. It's a bit like when you have your flash on with your camera, the way that is, your camera flash talks to the strobe. So every time you flash, the strobe goes off, and allows you then to take those colourful, perfect photos as I was talking about before. The next piece of equipment, because at the moment the camera is going to get very, very wet and you're going to be in a bit of trouble because you can't take the photos and you have to go back and get another camera. And that is the dome. Now I've currently got a cover on the dome, really important, just an extra piece of equipment there just to make sure your dome doesn't get scratched, and you end up having those marks on your photos, because this is essentially goes between the lens and the subject. And you can get different sizes of domes for different housing and different cameras, and that essentially fits on like this, and then you'll be able to sort it out. So I'm going to put this all together and I'm going to cut back and I'll show you what it all looks like together. And there we have it, all fitted together, minus the camera obviously, because I'm filming with the camera at the moment. But that's what it looks like all together here. It's all attached here. You've got your strobe attached. You've also got the dome attached here, and you can go away and you can start filming, or what I do is I go around and start filming, taking photos. Now the one bits that I didn't include that I have in my equipment is I have these two little fixtures here that go with the camera itself. So this clips onto the lens just like that, and then this goes on over the top of that and slides in over the lens, and that just then essentially locks in with this dial here, and that then allows me then to zoom in and out to get those close-up shots. All I'm going to do is pack this all up now and head off, and I'll see you on the journey, and then I'll see you when we get there. I'll take you through the site, show you the lake, and then we'll get down and go for a dive. So we'll see you then. There we go, we're here. Gates open in a little while, so just gotta stretch our legs, make sure we have everything, and then we'll head on in. So we're now inside Stoney Cove, so if I come along here, you'll be able to see the lake itself. Quite large. Lots of duck life. See that boy there is the stone garth. So that was good, 2 50-minute dives. Visibility in the end wasn't too great, but managed to get a few shots of some perch, a few other exciting things which you would have seen in the video, some roach in there too, and so hopefully that all came out and you would have just watched that. So that's all for me now, but hopefully keep a look at the channel and hit that notification and subscribe for more videos from us, and hopefully we'll have some exciting stuff coming to you in the future. But if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and leave a comment. But thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.